Hello everybody, this is Lola from InWeCrypto. We are honored to have with us the developer from Neo community, Peter. He is our guest today. He will share with us the latest news of Neo. So Peter, tell us something about yourself and how you got into the industry. Sure, hi everybody, my name is Lin Ping Tao. You can just call me Peter. I knew about Bitcoin at the end of 2013. I was a developer at Wobuy back then, and then at Neo. We have been upgrading Neo Wallet lately. And planning some token sale events. Is there any token sale based on Neo recently? Yes, there was one at 9:00 p.m. on October 8th. Beijing time. A team called Red Pulse had a token sale event based on a Neo smart contract. How long did it last? The event started from 9:00. It worked like this. The event lasted for 1 hour to make sure everybody could send Neo tokens. The cap for everyone was 27. The target number was not reached during 9 to 10 o'clock because the individual cap is 27 Neo, but the target was met right after 10 o'clock. 9 to 10 o'clock was the first round, and after 10 o'clock the second round. The second round lasted for about 10 minutes. A total of 400,000 Neo tokens were raised. I heard that they were oversubscribed at more than 1 million Neo tokens. There was a lot. The target was met very quickly. The goal was 400,000 Neo tokens. They met it quickly. The event was a huge success. Yes, it was. So Peter, are you responsible for developing a wallet and smart contract at Neo? That's right. What project will be the emphasis of Neo's developing? Let me talk first a little bit about the structure of Neo. Neo has a Neo Council. The Council is responsible for planning for Neo future development and giving out rewards. Technically, the Council of Neo sets some goals. One is that NEP, Neo Enhancement Proposal, which will be comparable to BIP, Bitcoin Improvement Proposal. We've listed things we will do at Neo. At earlier stage, we drafted NEP 5 token standard, which is part of NEP. It sets a standard for tokens. A standard of Neo? Yes, it is similar to the ERC20 standard of Ethereum. This is what Neo team is working on. We have a huge community network, both at home and abroad. They all have projects based on Neo. Take one typical example from abroad. Some fans of Neo abroad spontaneously start a group called City of Zion. We call it COZ. COZ has done a lot of projects based on Neo, like Neo Wallet, Neo Browser, Neo Base Library. Neo is a public chain all. Neo EN infrastructure to provide its services to all. We use C# language at Neo, but a lot of developers use JS, Java, or Python. In order to make it easier for them to develop on Neo, we need some library files like Neo.js, NeoPython, which is what COZ is doing. This is the structure of Neo. There are also projects at home such as OTCGO. Everyone is moving forward. What I find interesting is that Neo is actually an open source underlying platform traced back to 2015. Yes. It is surprising that Neo has supported a lot of applications. Or to say a lot of Neo supporters have volunteered to help Neo achieve it. What I want to know is that Neo is an open source underlying platform. How much of it is built with the help of Neo fans or its community? And how much of it is actually built by Neo's core developer team? There are three kinds of developers at Neo. One is core developers such as Eric Zhang and Li Jinying. One is community developers who is the backbone of Neo. By community developers, I mean those developers who have contributed to Neo for a long time. Another is community contributors to Neo. For example, I have some free time today. And when I see some improvements on Neo, I could submit pull requests. On another day, I have a busy day at work and do not feel like doing anything after work. We call this kind of developer community contributors. Some work, such as file maintenance in multiple languages, Spanish, and German, is done by community contributors. Do they translate the files for you? Yes, we can roughly categorize Neo developers into these three kinds. Neo has communities at home and abroad. We found something interesting in running those communities. The concept of open source has been well accepted abroad. I remember we put a project on GitHub, and it received a lot of interest from fans abroad. We call them geek. You know, there is something called a connection among one geek and another. If you are not a person from their channels, they won't even talk to you. That is true, but Neo's code is sort of cool, so it attracts lots of geeks. And they will just spontaneously fork or start your projects. They will even start a group to get something done. Some of them do it because it was what they were interested in. But for teams or individuals who did a great job, we give them Neo token rewards. Neo token rewards? I think that is really generous. There is one example we always use. Last year, a Chinese fan was really interested in Neo, so he made a Neo browser on his own. We gave him 100,000 Neo tokens as reward. When did it happen? Last October, I think. Wow, I want to know if he sold his Neo tokens. Yeah, me too. Personally, I think Neo is China's Ethereum. Because Neo is an open source and underlying blockchain technology, and it has smart contract. And I am wondering how mature Neo's smart contract is, and how is the developing doing. Okay, first of all, a lot of people see Neo as China's Ethereum. So that more people could easily have an idea what Neo is, Ethereum is indeed very famous. But there are actually a lot of differences between Neo and Ethereum. Those differences are where the advantages of Neo will emerge. For one, and the most typical one, Neo's smart contract is compatible with multiple programming languages. It is now compatible with C# and Red Pulse, which is achieved based on the smart contract written in C#, and Neo also supports Python Go. At this stage, C# is the best supported programming language, but Java will soon follow because there are a lot of Java developers. Then come Python and Go. One feature of Neo's smart contract is that it is compatible with multiple programming languages. Another is that it is easy to write a program on Neo. Since Neo is compatible with multiple programming languages, any developer who knows the language could write a smart contract. They don't have to learn a new language, but for Ethereum, Solidity is required to write a contract. I agree, picking up a new programming language is a lot of trouble. On Neo, developers could focus on the programming language they are best at. Exactly. There are more features to Neo's smart contract. For example, we have Neo ecosystems now. When a new smart contract is written, it can be connected seamlessly with the ecosystem. It is very convenient. But we cannot deny that there is a long way to go to be as technologically mature as Ethereum. For example, Ethereum has a lot of well-developed blockchain browsers. We are still in the progress, constantly improving. I mentioned NEP earlier. It was still in the process, but it's developing very fast. I don't know if I'm correct in saying Neo is the first smart contract open source platform at home, but with a fairly short history. You are right, Neo's main net went online last year in maybe October. Yes, it was online in last October. But the test net was online much earlier, in last May. Neo will celebrate the anniversary of its mainnet this year. A lot of things happened in the past year. What was called Ant shares in the beginning grew into what we now call Neo. And also we have new features such as smart contract. Our community is taking shape rapidly. Our programs are getting better. All those are happening in a short time. Very short time indeed. Red Pulse is the first application supported by Neo's smart contract, isn't it? The very first should be Hello World. A key value pair of Hello World was stored at the storage area. This should count as the first smart contract. Maybe there were some simple smart contracts such as Ascente, int b, return a plus b before that, really simple ones. The smart contract of Red Pulse I was talking about is much more complicated and just got deployed recently. Neo is constantly making progress, as I said earlier. But if we talk about C#, the smart contract has been very well developed. Our developers, including core developers and community contributors, put a lot of thought and mind into it. Any problem given to Neo team could be solved quickly. Our community is highly responsive. Yes, it is. Our contract is sophisticated enough to support complex smart contract. The smart contract of Red Pulse could survive the test of running $100 million of assets. The stability and security are guaranteed. Wow. So are there a lot of volunteers from home and abroad who participate in the project? Yes, they have also inspired us. I remember 4 volunteers joined us in making NEP 5. The token standard? Yes, 4 volunteers in total, 2 from home, the other 2 from abroad. It is a 50-50. NEP 5 is actually finished on foreign developers' GitHub. So there is high participation from the communities abroad. And they are very passionate about it. Can you answer me a question since you see a broader picture? Why is Neo so popular among communities abroad? No Chinese blockchain company enjoys as much influence abroad as Neo does. I think Neo is the very first. I think it can be attributed to several reasons. The first and foremost is technology. We write decent codes. And we update them constantly. I mentioned the connection geek shares with another geek. The connection among them could be made under certain circumstances. If the codes we write are rubbish, developers abroad would lose interest immediately. But if our codes are cool, developers would see it as a nice open source and fork the program. With more people forking the program, the forking is converted to energy. Say 20% of developers fall in love with the program. They will push the program forward. Our program is huge, and so is the conversion ratio. If you check out the GitHub of Neo projects, you can find 18 developers, 18 ones who are in complete love with our program. All of the 18 are developers from abroad? Yes, all of them are developers from abroad. It has something to do with the open source construction at home. We took part in an open source code event a couple days earlier. It was called GNOME and is some GUI stuff on Linux. It is also an open source community with a lot of fans at home. But they have done limited exploration into GitHub. For example, when Neo puts codes on domestic open source communities such as GitHub, there are only a few developers at home attracted and it takes some time. But shortly after we put codes on GitHub abroad, lots of developers are attracted. Companies including Microsoft are attracted, saying they're interested. We've had some exchanges with them too. Microsoft is also engaging in open source. And we've had some communications on open source community. Neo is a community, not a company, so it is fine to mention Microsoft. Microsoft also has an open source community, so do we. So we are open about it. Okay, I have a question that I always get asked. What is the relationship between Neo and Onchain? Both have Da Hongfei and Eric Zhang as their CEO and CTO. That's right, Neo is an open source community and open source platform. Open source is the way we chose. The concept open source was imported from abroad. Foreign companies have built the soil for it after all those years. To make it clearer, foreign countries have established a culture of open source. Neo is compatible with the culture and we are determined to carry it through. Onchain, however, is an entity for profit. They emphasize on different things. Neo is a public chain while Onchain is an alliance chain. Onchain uses Go language while Neo C#. Is Onchain an open source? Yes, Onchain's project is a DNA project and is also an open source. Correct me if I'm wrong. Neo is underlying blockchain and open source code community as infrastructure and community. Onchain is also open source but an alliance chain. Onchain focuses on providing solutions to underlying blockchains of different companies and on providing blockchain technology services. Exactly, Neo is devoted to the spirit of open source, open for all. Any developers with ideas are welcome to start their project on Neo. Neo serves as infrastructure. We are open-minded towards all projects as long as they are not illegal or evilly intended. Okay, as you said, Neo embraces more developers to join the Neo community. You also mentioned that NEP of Neo is posted on the GitHub of your Neo project. Yes, everybody is welcome to check it out and participate. I will put it in the video for the convenience of those who are interested. Okay, thanks, Peter. Thank you all. This is all for today. Thank you for watching.